It's 2:37 a.m. The hallway is dark. Your feet are cold. And once again, you're on your way to the bathroom. You don't even look at the clock anymore. You already know the time by how your body feels. You shuffle past the nightstand, trying not to wake your spouse. Again. This is the third time tonight. Maybe the fourth. You don't remember the last time you slept through the night without interruption. And as you sit there in the silence, you wonder, is this just part of getting older? Or is there something I can actually do about it? You're not alone. Millions of older adults just like you are waking up every night not because of nightmares or loud noises, but because their bladders simply won't let them rest. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. And worst of all, it can feel hopeless. But what if there was a gentle, natural way to help your body sleep and your bladder stay calm? Not a prescription drug with side effects, not a complicated routine, but a simple warm cup of herbal tea made from plants that have been trusted for generations. Tonight we're diving into 3 of the best herbal teas that have helped thousands of people stop waking up at night to urinate and finally reclaim the peaceful, uninterrupted rest their body deserves. Because it's time you slept through the night again. Before we explore the teas that can help, let's take a moment to understand what's really going on. If you're waking up once, twice, or even 5 times every night just to urinate, that condition has a name. It's called Nocturia. And no, it's not just because you're getting older. It's more complex than that. Many seniors are told, well, that's just part of aging. But that's only partly true. Yes, age plays a role. But Nocturia is often a sign of an underlying imbalance, and many of those can be addressed. You see, your body is designed to slow down urine production at night so you can rest. But for many people over 60, that process starts to break down. Here are some of the most common triggers behind frequent nighttime urination. Hormonal changes. As we age, our bodies produce less antidiuretic hormone, which normally reduces urine production at night. Overactive bladder. The muscles in the bladder become more sensitive, sending urgent signals when the bladder isn't even full. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. In men, the prostate may enlarge and press on the urethra, leading to incomplete emptying and more frequent urges. Sleep disorders. Poor sleep can cause you to wake more often and become aware of bladder signals you'd otherwise sleep through. Medications. Diuretics, blood pressure pills, or heart medications, taken too late in the day may increase urination overnight. Lifestyle habits. Drinking caffeine, alcohol, or too much fluid in the evening can overload your bladder. Many people dismiss Nocturia as just an inconvenience. But the truth is, it's far more serious than we realize. Interrupted sleep weakens the immune system. Increased risk of falls and fractures when walking in the dark. Daytime fatigue. Poor concentration and depression, higher risk of cardiovascular events according to recent studies. Losing deep sleep, night after night, is not just tiring, it's dangerous. The good news: you're not powerless. In fact, with a few small changes and the right herbal support, you can calm the bladder, support your nervous system, and begin sleeping soundly again. And that's where nature steps in. When it comes to frequent nighttime urination, many people turn to pills, prescriptions, supplements, or over-the-counter remedies. But there's a reason why herbal teas have stood the test of time. They're not just old-fashioned remedies. They're nature's way of calming the body from the inside out, and they may be exactly what your bladder needs. Why herbal teas are different. Unlike medications that often come with side effects like dizziness, dry mouth, or sudden drops in blood pressure, herbal teas work gradually, gently and holistically. They don't force your body to obey. They encourage your body to rebalance itself. Most herbal teas offer 3 key benefits that make them ideal for nighttime urination. 1. Mild diuretic balancing effect. Instead of overstimulating the kidneys, certain herbs help regulate when and how much urine is produced, easing the pressure on your bladder overnight. 2. Anti-inflammatory action. Some herbs reduce inflammation in the urinary tract and bladder wall, making those urgent signals less frequent and less intense. 3. Nervous system relaxation. Perhaps most importantly, herbal teas help lower nighttime cortisol, slow the heart rate, and support deep, uninterrupted sleep. It's not just about the herb, it's the ritual. The act of drinking warm tea before bed is soothing in itself. You hold a warm mug, you sit still, you slow down, you breathe, you send a message to your body. It's time to rest. That simple ritual repeated each night helps recondition your mind and your bladder to relax. Modern research now confirms what ancient wisdom has long believed: herbal infusions can support bladder function, reduce nighttime urination, and improve sleep quality, especially in adults over 60. Many of these teas are rich in flavonoids, terpenoids, and plant compounds that directly interact with the muscles and nerves of the urinary system. So if you're waking up tired, frustrated, and wondering if you'll ever sleep through the night again, it may be time to put the kettle on. Because in just a moment, we'll explore the first herbal tea that's helping seniors across the world reclaim peaceful sleep by calming the bladder 1 cup at a time. And it comes from something surprisingly ordinary. Our first herbal tea isn't something you'll find in fancy packaging or at high-end health stores. In fact, you've probably thrown it away hundreds of times without realizing its power. It's called corn silk, the long golden threads you find underneath the husk of a fresh ear of corn. But hidden in those silky strands is a centuries-old remedy for calming the bladder and restoring nighttime peace. What is corn silk? Corn silk is the stringy hair-like material found between the husk and the corn itself. But while most people toss it aside, traditional healers from Native American tribes to Chinese herbalists have long used it to treat urinary disorders, bladder irritation, and bedwetting. Why? Because corn silk is packed with flavonoids, natural antioxidants that reduce inflammation; mucilage, a slippery soothing compound that coats the bladder lining; potassium and magnesium, electrolytes that help regulate fluid balance; saponins, which may gently support kidney and bladder function. Together they create a mild diuretic and anti-inflammatory effect without pushing your body too hard. Corn silk works in 3 main ways. 1. Soothes the bladder wall, especially helpful if you have an overactive bladder that sends false full signals at night. 2. Reduces irritation in the urinary tract, helps calm down inflammation, reducing the urge to go. 3. Regulates urine production. By supporting healthy kidney function, it helps your body make just the right amount of urine at night. Not too much, not too little. Real story. How John got his sleep back. John is 76 years old. For over a decade, he struggled with sleep. Not because of insomnia, but because he had to get up every 2 hours to urinate. He tried cutting back water, limiting caffeine, even prescription meds. Nothing worked. Then a friend from his church mentioned corn silk tea. Skeptical but desperate, John gave it a try. Just 1 small cup each night before bed, and within 2 weeks he went from waking up 4 times to just once. He says, "I didn't expect it to work, but I feel like I've aged in reverse. I can finally rest again." How to prepare. Corn silk tea. Fresh method: if using raw corn silk, rinse thoroughly. Use a small handful, about 1 tablespoon, and boil in 2 cups of water for 10 minutes. Let it steep another 5 minutes, strain, and sip warm. Dried method: if using herbal store-bought corn silk, 1 teaspoon dried corn silk. Add to 1 cup boiling water. Steep 10-15 minutes. Optional. Add a touch of raw honey or lemon. Drink it 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Not too close to bedtime. Give your bladder time to settle. Precautions. If you're on prescription diuretics, talk to your doctor first. Avoid if you have a known corn allergy. Don't overuse. 1 cup per night is usually enough. It's simple, it's natural, and it might just be growing in your backyard garden. Next up, let's look at a flower you probably know well, one that's not just beautiful, but can help you drift off to sleep and keep your bladder quiet until morning. We're talking about chamomile, the gentle hero of herbal teas. There's something about chamomile that feels like a hug from the inside out. It's delicate, fragrant, familiar, and it has long been used as a bedtime ritual, not just for its flavor, but for its powerful calming effects on both the mind and the body. But what many don't know is this chamomile doesn't just help you sleep. It also supports bladder control and muscle relaxation, making it one of the most powerful and safest herbal teas for nighttime urination. Why chamomile works so well. Chamomile contains a compound called apigenin, a natural flavonoid that binds to certain brain receptors and promotes deep relaxation. But that's not all it does. Chamomile also relaxes the smooth muscles of the bladder, reducing spasms, lowers nighttime cortisol, easing tension that may trigger urination urges, reduces inflammation in the urinary tract, supports the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode. In short, It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up less often. Helen's story. From grief to rest. Helen was 82 years old when her husband passed away. She had been married 59 years. The grief hit her like a wave. Every night she'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling, restless, heartbroken, and constantly needing to use the bathroom. But then her granddaughter brought her something simple: a tin of organic chamomile flowers and a handwritten note that read, "Grandma, this helped me after Dad left. Maybe it can help you too." She cried. She made a cup. She breathed it in. And for the first time in weeks, she slept 6 full hours. Now Helen says, it's not just a tea. It's a little piece of peace before bed. How to make chamomile tea properly. Most store-bought chamomile teas are overly processed and weak. If you want the full benefits, here's how to do it right. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of dried whole chamomile flowers, organic preferred. 1 cup of freshly boiled water. Instructions: add flowers to a teapot or cup with a lid. Pour over hot water. Steep covered for 10 to 12 minutes. Strain and sip slowly. About 30-45 minutes before bed. Optional additions: a pinch of cinnamon for warmth, a slice of ginger for digestion, a drop of raw honey only if you need it, not for diabetics. Precautions: chamomile is generally very safe, but avoid if you have allergies to ragweed or daisies. Be cautious if you're taking blood thinners, as chamomile may have mild anticoagulant effects. Start with a small amount if it's your first time to ensure no sensitivity. Chamomile is gentle, but don't underestimate its power. When used consistently, it not only soothes your nerves, but also calms the bladder muscles that may be waking you up at night. And now we move to the third herbal tea. One most people have never heard of yet. It has shown powerful results for people with bladder leaks, urgency, and frequent nighttime trips. This next tea isn't sweet. It doesn't smell floral. And you probably won't find it in your kitchen cupboard. But for people struggling with leaks, urgency, or frequent nighttime urination, it's one of the most underrated gifts from nature. It's called horsetail tea. And no, it doesn't come from a horse. It's a prehistoric fern-like plant, one of the oldest on Earth, with remarkable benefits for your bladder and pelvic health. What makes horsetail so special? Horsetail, Latin name, Equisetum arvense, is known as a natural astringent. That means it helps to tighten and tone tissues, especially helpful for weak or leaky bladders that send out emergency signals far too often. But its power doesn't stop there. Horsetail is also rich in silica, strengthens connective tissue in the bladder wall. Flavonoids, reduce inflammation and calm overactive bladder nerves. Potassium, helps balance fluid levels. Saponins and alkaloids offer mild diuretic effects without overstimulating the kidneys. Together, these compounds help reinforce the bladder, control spasms, and minimize leakage, especially at night. Gary's story. From embarrassment to confidence. Gary is 69. He never imagined wearing adult diapers. But after prostate surgery, he began leaking, and it only got worse at night. He stopped traveling. He stopped sleeping through the night. He stopped laughing. Until one day, while researching natural remedies, he found a quiet little mention of horsetail tea. He called it a last-ditch effort. But after 10 days of drinking a single cup at night, something changed. The urge to rush to the bathroom, calmer. The leaks, less frequent. The sleep, deeper than it had been in years. Now Gary says, I still have to get up, maybe once a night, but I'm no longer afraid to leave the house or fall asleep. That's everything. How to prepare horsetail tea correctly. You'll need 1 teaspoon of dried horsetail herb, not the root. 1.5 to 2 cups of freshly boiled water. Place the horsetail in a teapot or cup. Pour boiling water over it. Cover and steep for 15 to 20 minutes. Strain and sip slowly about 1 hour before bedtime. Optional. Add a small slice of lemon or a sprig of mint to soften the earthy flavor. Use with care. Horsetail is potent, so follow these precautions. Do not use for more than 3-4 weeks straight without a break. Avoid if you have kidney disease or are prone to low potassium levels. Not recommended for pregnant or breastfeeding women. Always choose food-grade organic horsetail. Some wild varieties can be toxic. Horsetail isn't trendy. It doesn't come in colorful packages. But for those who've quietly struggled with bladder urgency and interrupted sleep, it's been a quiet miracle. So now you know the what: corn silk, chamomile, and horsetail, 3 herbal teas that can gently help reduce nighttime urination. But let's talk about the how. Because just like medication, timing, quality, and consistency matter when it comes to natural remedies. Here's how to get the most out of your nighttime tea ritual. 1. Timing is everything. One of the most common mistakes people make: drinking tea too close to bedtime. While these herbs are gentle on the bladder, any liquid, even the good kind, takes time to move through your system. Drink your herbal tea 60-90 minutes before sleep. That gives your body time to process the fluid, relax, and settle. 2. Quality over quantity. Not all teas are created equal. Many mass-market tea bags are filled with dusty, stale leaves and fillers. For medicinal benefits, you want whole dried herbs, preferably organic and purchased from trusted sources. Look for transparent packaging. You should see the herbs, loose leaf or whole flower versions. No additives, perfumes, or artificial flavoring. 3. Make it a wind-down ritual. Don't just chug the tea and go to bed. Instead, use it as a transition into rest. Dim the lights. Play calming music or soft nature sounds. Avoid screens, especially phones. Practice 3-5 minutes of deep breathing while sipping. Your brain needs signals that say, "It's safe to relax now, let go." And this ritual can become one of the strongest signals. 4. Avoid the common enemies. While herbal tea can help, certain evening habits can sabotage your efforts. Caffeine after 2 p.m. Found in coffee. Black tea, chocolate. Alcohol. A bladder irritant and fluid expander. Heavy dinners. Large meals late at night can disturb sleep. Sugary snacks before bed may trigger bladder activity and inflammation. Keep your evening light clean and soothing. 5. Combine with gentle lifestyle shifts. For even better results, pair your tea with simple habits. Pelvic floor exercises. Kegels. Help control urine flow. Daily walking. Improves circulation and hormonal balance. Early dinner. 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Keeping legs elevated before bed helps redistribute fluid buildup from ankles to the bladder before sleep. 1 good cup of tea, combined with 1 good habit, can make a world of difference. Let's take a moment. Not to think, not to learn, but just to breathe. You've made it through countless nights tossing, turning, shuffling in the dark, wishing your bladder would just give you 1 night of peace. And maybe along the way you told yourself, this is just how it is now, that aging means discomfort, that broken sleep is normal, that nothing will change. But that's not the full truth. The truth is, your body is still listening. It's still trying to heal, still trying to restore balance, still hoping you'll give it what it needs to rest. And sometimes what it needs isn't a pill, it's a cup. A warm, earthy healing cup brewed with care, steeped in centuries of wisdom and sipped in silence. Not as a cure, but as an invitation to return to yourself. This isn't just about tea. It's about hope, about feeling like you have some control again, about knowing that your rest is still sacred even now, even at this stage of life, and that you don't have to settle for restless nights anymore. With a simple ritual, a bit of patience, and the right herbs, you can teach your body to trust the night again, to trust that it's okay to let go, to stay still, to heal. Your next step. Just pick one. 1 tea. 1 moment. 1 small change tonight. Will it be the golden threads of corn silk, the soft comfort of chamomile, or the ancient strength of horsetail? Whatever you choose, do it with kindness toward yourself. Because you're not just drinking tea, you're reclaiming your night, and you deserve every minute of rest it brings. Which of these teas will you try tonight? Let us know in the comments. And if this helped you, share it with someone who needs peaceful sleep too.